Good evening. It's Friday night, and welcome to another episode of In This Space. I am Dr. Alicia George, and tonight you can see we have a full audience tonight. And I have made a conscious decision tonight that we are going to share a topic that a lot of people do not share openly. But I understand and I recognize that there's so many people out there that are dealing with one type or one form of grief. And so tonight, I want to bring to you all some information, some revelation, so that we could come to some conclusions how to deal with certain things. This title is Grief Is, and there's a question mark behind it. Why? Because everyone do not grieve the same way. So I just want to say welcome to my audience tonight, Coach Kim Fagan. Good evening. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Like I told you earlier, I'm hoping that I'll be able to stay on. I am in Houston and we've been having flash floods since this morning, but God is still good. So all is
Yes.
well so far.
And nothing is going to interrupt this broadcast. We have power over the atmosphere. So in this space, our voice will be heard. So we're definitely rebuking anything that's going to come to try to disrupt what needs to be said and done. Let's go to the top. There is my friend Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? I see you're sitting in your car. You must be hot
Hi.
in Victorville.
Thank
Thank
Yes,
you for
no, it's
being here.
good. I got the air going. It's good, and I'm in Oceanside right now, so the weather's really
Okay.
nice as well. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And to my right, I have this awesome woman, the nail lady, I call her, and it's
Yeah.
Monica. Hi, Monica. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, thanks. And thank you for having me here.
Oh, thank you for saying yes and being here. And then over here, down on the bottom on my left, we have the media chick. This woman, I'm telling you, is something else. She is one of my coaches. And so, Simone, good evening to you.
Good evening. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Hello.
So, listen, with all of that said, we're going to get started tonight because I want this conversation to be a conversation of freedom for each and every one of us. Why I really decided to push this show when I was having a little bit of difficulty with the coaches I was trying to get, there were three of them. Everything has happened and they're not here. But Tiffany posted something on Facebook about a month ago that gripped my heart. And I knew that she was grieving over several things in her life. And I said, I'm moving forward. I'm going to bring this. And at the last minute, her and Monica said, yes, we will come on the show. So we're going to make sure that on the show tonight, we are open, we're candid, because I know speaking stops a lot of things from going in a direction that we don't want it to go. So I'm going to start with you, Coach Kim. And I'm going to ask you this question. What are some common misconceptions that people have about grief?
Um, I thank you for allowing me to be in this space at this time. So the question, what are some common misconceptions? Many people believe that grief has a deadline,
Mm,
that there's a right way to grieve. And the truth is that grief is personal. It looks different for everyone. I think of grief as your fingerprint. No two humans have the same fingerprint. All our
mm,
fingerprints are different. Therefore, our grief is going to be different. Another common misconception is that people relate grief simply with death, and sometimes just the death of a human being. And and grief encompasses more than just the death of a loved one. If you're a person like me, I'm a pet parent. So I had a loss of a pet a few years ago, and although I have a new pet, I still grieve for that pet. I retired 2 years ago, had my life all planned out what I was going to do. Little did I know, I grieved the fact that my normal schedule that I had for 35 and a half years was no longer that schedule.
Wow.
I relocated from Southern California, where I lived 55 years, and moved here to Cypress, Texas. That was a death in itself that I'm still grief that I'm still working through. Someone may be going through a divorce. Somebody may have lost a job that they love. So grief is not just pertaining to death, and that is a big misconception that I feel that people have.
Yeah, very well noted. Exactly. It really isn't, because I can agree with you. When I had to put my dog to sleep about 9 months ago, I couldn't even stay in the room where they were doing it. I called my son to come in and do it, because I was like, Zulu is getting ready
Yeah.
to die. He's my family. He's not just a dog, so
Yes.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Let me ask you just one more question before I go to the panel here. Um this is often a thing that people don't know what to say when someone dies. So what should friends and family avoid saying or doing when someone transitions?
Please, for the love of all humanity, we could just ditch the insensitive cliches. I know how you feel. No, you don't.
Mm,
Just because you lost your mom and I may have lost my mom, it's not the same. The next thing, well, for me personally, my mother lived to be 100 years old. She had a blessed life. But I had a friend that I had to kind of separate from a while but she lived a long life. I don't care that she lived a long life. That was my mother, and I wanted my mother with me. Another thing, you got to be strong for the family. Why?
yeah,
I'm struggling just like they're struggling.
yeah.
Why me? Another one is at least they're no longer suffering. Really?
Oh boy. Yeah, yeah.
Do we want our loved ones to suffer? No, we don't. But when that physical presence is no longer around, that is a silence that's unnerving.
Yes.
And
That's
you
good.
sometimes want that physical touch. And then another one, everything happens for a reason.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Oh, you touching on some real
Mhm.
points
And
tonight.
my question to them is, really? Okay, so what is the reason? And then
Yeah.
they're standing there kind of stuck on stupid because they don't have an answer as to everything happens for a reason. So we
Wow.
need to do away with the insensitive cliches and just, I don't know how you feel, but I'm here for you.
Yes.
Would you like to share a memory about your loved one? If
That's
so,
good.
I'm here to, I'm just here. I'd rather hear I'm here than, oh, but she lived this long life. It took me a minute to get past that, because yes, my mother lived for 100 years, but there are days right now where I say, gosh, I wish I could hear my mother's feet shuffling down the hallway, or Lord, I wish I could hear her sing my name. Because when she called my name, she called me at least 4 or 5 times, and it was just like a singing thing. So let's
Wow.
do away with those cliches. I know we think we mean well, but it's rude. It's hurtful.
And we need to adjust. That is good. Monica, I am going to go over to you. I have not known you a very long time, but I met you right in the process of your grief. Tell us a little bit about your story and your loss, whatever it is you're comfortable saying for the next minute or so.
Yes.
So, I was married for almost 30 years. My husband passed away 5 days before our 30th anniversary.
Wow.
Um, it's been hard, I wouldn't lie.
Because this is
He
recent,
just,
right?
I'm sorry, yes,
This is recent.
last year
Yes.
in April.
Yes.
Um, I didn't think I
It's
would be.
okay.
You're in a safe,
Um,
you're in this space, but you're in a safe space.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been hard, of course, but I feel blessed that I have my kids with me who left their job and school locations and decided to come stay with me and be with me during this time. Um, because for the past 5 years, it was just him and I. Before that, we had his mom live with us for ever since we got married. She was with us for 20 something years, and
Mm.
she passed away during COVID. And after that, it's been just the two of us for those 5 years, actually just being just us. And then this happens, and it's just,
Well, let me ask you this. 30 years is a long time to be with someone as a unit and then have that unit interrupted. My parents was married for 65 years
Hmm.
and they died
Huh.
in 2 years space of each other. And I saw my mom after he left, how she started to deteriorate. So my question to you is this: do you have any daily practices that help you to cope?
prayer.
Ooh,
Prayer, it
that's
seems,
powerful.
for a while now, so in my culture, we have a very early morning prayers that before sunrise, almost like during that time, dawn-ish
Okay.
timing. And it seems that my I wake up automatically around that time for those prayers that are happening. And it's just a beautiful start to my day. And I listen to that prayer throughout the day. I listen to all my prayer songs throughout the day, or listen to discourses. And um, I like that as being a spiritual person that I am. I
Uh-huh.
connect even more to that, and I feel that it brings me a lot of peace. It makes a lot of things make a little bit more sense, that
Yes.
I feel consoled and a little bit at peace.
Amen. Amen. That is good prayer. Let's jump over down to you, Coach Media Check, Simone, and let's ask you a question. Just tell us a little bit about your grief story. What caused you to be at this place of grief that you're at?
The loss of my son in 2020, around the beginning of COVID. Um, he had to leave college and come back home. I lived in California. I was living in Victorville too, and he came back. But him and my son went to a party in Las Vegas, and the whole party got shut up, and he was the only one who was killed.
Mm. Oh my
He only
God.
had one more semester left. He was on the honor roll, college, everything, and um, so yeah, he was killed, and that's something that I would, you as a mother, you never prepare for that. You never
Right.
plan or prepare for that. At the time, I was working two jobs. I was really almost killing myself working, and by the time I woke up, I realized I had literally about 50 missed calls on my phone and saying that you got to get to Las Vegas right now. You got to get there. And how I found out is no one didn't even tell me he passed. It just said you got to come. I thought my son was in a hospital.
Mm,
And I kept wondering, why am I not talking to anybody? Why is it just my daughter? Why is it just this? And it just wasn't making sense. And finally, I was on the road and I literally heard a voice said, he's dead. I
Mm.
heard it.
wow.
It was clear as day. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, like I said, it's not adding up. And I heard this. I asked my daughter, I said, is my son dead?
Hmm.
And my daughter said yes. And she was like, Mom, please pull over because I can't lose you too. So I'm
Wow.
driving in the middle of the highway
Yes.
and to learn that my son he was
How old
gone.
was he?
He was 23.
He was 23. Wow.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
a baby. But you
Mhm.
know what? I want to ask you this question. What do you wish others understood about your experience? Because there's so many mothers
Mhm.
that have lost their children. Listen, my brother was 48 when he passed away, and he was shot as well. And he wasn't shot just one time.
Mm,
My brother, I think there was 7 different bullets. And that is the one thing that I had to deal with because my brother was 6'5", and I would have this recurring image, Coach Kim, of him
mm,
falling once he
Yeah.
was, and I could not get that out of my mind. We just lost someone, I think,
Yeah.
Tiffany.
and I could not get that out of my mind. And for years, that impact of
mhm,
that was my last thought about him, and watching him in a coffin with one right here.
mm.
So there are different things. So my question again to you is, what do you wish others understood about your experience? Because what I wished that some people understood about my experience is they would say to me, well, you know, your brother was not living the best life. And that thing will trigger me. Because no
Yes.
matter what he did, or no matter what, he was a human being that did not deserve to die like that. So what is yours, media
You
change?
know, you know what? I really didn't have a wish. I think my circle or the people around me, I think they were pretty good at trying not to say those,
Type of things.
cliche things. Yeah, they were. But one thing I did, I do tell people who actually came up to me and says, we've watched your journey. And I will say that a couple of those same people had lost children not too long after me,
Mm,
and they
wow.
wanted to know how I got through it. So what I would tell everyone is, even though there may be somebody that's going through something, just like Coach Kim said, that I just want people to know is, even though there's somebody going through something like what you're going through, understand your process, and understand, because theirs is not like mine's. I was really being even heavy in my faith. I know God carried me
Yeah.
through everything, and I plunged more into the word, more into prayer. That's what carries me. Then I get some people that says, well, I pray more and read it, and it's, to me, it's still not helping. So others may need, more than what I did. And I will say one thing, something just came to my mind is, don't make it about you. That just came to my head. There are people that feel like, when you lose someone, because they're also family, some kind of way they try to make it about them, some sort of way,
Yeah.
sometimes, in
Yeah.
making the arrangements and doing things. And, at this moment, yes, I care about you grieving too, but right now I'm the one that have to make all the decisions. I'm the one that have to make all the arrangements. I'm the one that has to make sure he looks good in the casket. And then you have to deal with everything and everybody that feels like they have a 2 cents in how you put
Exactly.
everything together. You don't have a 2 cents right now. I'm sorry.
At
just
all.
just let me get my son, into where he needs to be the best way. So it's already hard enough when you have to move on, but
Uh-huh.
at least let me have these good memories, and let me know that I sent my son off the best
That's
way
way.
that
Yeah.
I could do. So I would say that, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get Tiffany back in. She's having a little problem with her connection. So I was just trying to get her back in here with us. But Coach Kim, let me ask you this. Um, what role does self-care play in a grieving process?
A simple answer for me is whatever you as an individual defined as self-care that helps you, do that. I believe it was Monica. She said what's helping her is prayer. Do that. You don't have to do
what is expected.
what is expected. Oh, go to the spa, go to the nail shop, or go
Yes.
get a new hairdo, go shopping, go out with friends. Whatever it looks like to you is what's good for you. I can't define what you should do for your self-care. That's being selfish.
Yes.
Because what works for you may not work for me.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to look like what somebody else says that it should look like.
Exactly. You're so right, because
whatever brings you peace and can help you get through the day, then that's what you do. Sometimes for me, I'll be honest, with my father, it's been 43 years, but it took 36 years for me to find peace with my father passing, because I was 14 years old. My mother has been gone. It's been eight years. And sometimes, I'll be honest, this may sound a little bit odd, but sometimes my self-care is when I'm really deep in my grief and really missing my parents and them. I just sit in that. I just sit with it all. I just sit
And
with
feel
all
it.
the emotions of
yes.
feeling what it used to feel like to be daddy's girl, what it felt like on every Saturday and Sunday. I knew I had to go to the donut shop because my mother wanted her glazed donut and her coffee, and she wanted two things. I sit in that. That's myself. It helps me to process, and then I can eventually get up and move on. So whatever self-care feels right to you, do that.
Do it.
That's so good. That's so good, because even, when we think about people who say that they were successful, your success may not be my success. So we
No.
have to do what right. Tiffany, you are back. Listen, let's go to you. Can you tell us a little bit about your grief journey? Tiffany, can you hear me?
Like she's
She's freezing.
yeah, it's freezing.
Let me take her down real quick and bring her back up and see if that helps. Tiffany, can you hear us?
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
I can hear you. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. November. It's been a 6 months. We were
We can't
You
make
have a really bad connection.
his oldest daughter.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Try it
I don't know if you
again.
guys can continue to hear me, but okay. I lost my father 6 months ago, so I'm trying to just cope with that. My first big loss in my life, so it's been really a learning process.
Who is it that passed
She
away?
said 6 months ago she lost her dad, is what she
Okay.
said.
Okay.
Yeah. And man,
Yeah, sorry about the connection.
yeah. Could you move your car maybe to a different parking spot? Is that
Yeah, I
possible?
could try to.
Let's try that.
Yeah,
Let's
let me
see.
try it. Let me try. One
Yeah, because I
second.
really want you to be
I'm gonna turn my camera off just for 1 second. Hang on.
okay. So let's go
Okay.
here. Kim, is there anything
Mhm.
that you want to tell us, as from your knowledge and background as a coach, questions I may not ask you right now, because I have a few more questions, but I want you to be free to just tell us. Is there anything that you want to tell us?
Well, understand that grief is not linear. There's not a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. I know that most of us have heard of the different stages, which is like denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. And people seem to feel like okay, first I'm angry, then I'm this, and then I'm depressed, and then You could experience them in any order, or you can experience the multiple of those stages at one time. Now, my mother passed away. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. I know where my mother and my father is. But in that moment, looking at my mom, she's passed away. I know where she is. But in a few seconds, those first few minutes, there was sadness, of course, but then there was some anger because I was just like, Mom, like you really just sat here and just left. Like you really have left me. So now I am really a 49-year-old orphan. And that was my emotion. And then I had time to process, like, wow, you really angry at your, so you go through a different way of emotions. You're not going to you may not accept it. Grief is a journey. Grief is not something that I go through all these stages, I go through all these things. Okay, and now it's over. That's not how that works. For me, I tell people in losing, my mom passing away, life will never be the same for me, ever. But it does not mean that I won't have a good life. It won't be the same.
That's good. That's very good.
And I have to tell people, life for me will never be the same, because now I need to have a mother nor a father. And at 57, because I'm 57 now, I am a 57-year-old orphan. And there are days where I feel like that. Although I have a loving husband, I have 2 loving children, I have a good circle of friends, I'm still an orphan. And I feel that some days. And it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. And no one can tell any of you what stage you should be in. Oh, well, you should be over that by now. Well, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And with those thoughts and those comments, perhaps we need some space.
You need to stay away from me. Exactly.
We need a little space, because how dare you tell me that I should be over the passing of my, as you can hear me right now, I haven't said died or death. I can't correlate my parents and death. It's passing away. I cannot. I can't.
Well, I know that's your dog. I know that's
that's King. Yes, he has the main character syndrome, and he's wondering why he's not sitting on my lap right now. So, I'm sorry.
That's okay. But so, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, I can't. So I'm still in my grieving process, although I help others. It's a journey.
Yes.
I'm on a 43-year journey with my dad, and I'm on an 8-year journey with my mom. And until I close my eyes, I will continue. We will be walking this journey.
Yes. Tiffany.
But it doesn't mean we can't get to a better place. We can.
Yeah.
We can.
For Tiffany, it's what we would call probably fresh 6 months. That's just a thing. So Tiffany, just express a little bit of your feelings, because we couldn't hear you before. So just let us know.
Again, I'm sorry for the connection. Hopefully it's a little bit better.
It's much better.
Good. So my dad passed in November. He had liver cirrhosis, but ultimately a large brain aneurysm took him from us. And it was very sudden. I guess sudden because we thought we had more time. And so it was just one of the first big losses in my life, and we were very close. We lived together. I also live with my grandparents, his parents, and my son. So, it's a big hole right now. And so I had reached out, to see what I could do to try to get better. Like you said, I know it's not linear, but just something, because I felt myself kind of drowning in it. So I just, it's fresh.
About you, Tiffany, you were in a place, and she actually, Coach Kim, went on Facebook and let people know she was drowning. And what was the results? Because you shared that with us on Tuesday on our meeting, and I was so she realized from that she really had a support system. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I put that out there just because, like I said, I didn't know what else to do. And I was overwhelmed with how many people responded to that post, how many people reached out personally, messaged me, called me, saying, I'm here for you, or giving me tips on leads to therapists and coaches. And I just had an overwhelming amount of support to where I was just like, oh my gosh, I am so not alone in this. It was really, it touched me deeply. And that's when I knew I had to actually take action on all this amazing support that was in front of me.
Yeah.
That's
I have a
awesome.
Yeah,
question
it was great.
for you, Coach Kim. One of
Yes.
my things that I have been dealing with, and I don't think I have managed it well yet, and I haven't got, because my mom and her sister were so close, and they died. My aunt just, when my mom died, my aunt just spiraled and she died. But what I had experienced was my cousin, although I was helping her with everything and I preached my aunt's funeral, I helped her clean up, I could not get over that she was making me feel like her mother's death was more important or more prominent than my mother's death. And I experienced this anger towards her. I stopped speaking to her. I was so hurt that everything she was saying was her mom, her mom. And whenever I tried to say anything about, she'd cut me off. And that thing made me so angry. And I don't know how I feel because I don't want to talk to her. I still have one. And I don't want to, because every time I do, if we come up on the subject, it's always where her mom's death was more important than my mom's death. Is there a suggestion for handling that?
Has she, in certain words, said that her mother's death is more important, or is just how she
No.
cuts you off and how
Oh, she
it
makes,
always goes back to her,
yeah,
to her
yeah.
mom?
No, she hasn't said it in certain words. It's just how
It's
it's
just her
like
actions.
her actions. Yeah.
So I think it's just a process of where you'll probably have to get to a point where you can share with her what your issue is,
Okay.
and that you need time to process how to rebuild the relationship, because it seems like perhaps is the relationship a little bit broken, would you say?
Yeah, and she was one of my favorite cousins. Yeah.
Because you'll probably have to just be blunt to, tell her, our mothers died within this time frame, and I understand that your mother's death is important to you, but so is mine. And I feel like you're not giving me the space I need for that when we're together.
Mm,
Maybe in her grief, maybe she's not realizing it.
okay.
And
I can
sometimes we
understand.
just have to speak a thing. We have to just say it. Because if you think about it, grief is very isolating, because you feel so lost, you feel so alone. You don't even sometimes trust yourself or what you're going to say or what you're going to do, so you just retreat.
Okay.
So that's part of grief. So perhaps I just think in time, I would pray about it and just ask God to give you the words to say, but be open and honest with her, and just, you know what? I honestly feel like you're disregarding my mom's death and how I feel.
Yeah, and that's been a struggle for me. So I appreciate that, and I know that I need to do something about it, because here it is. This is one of my favorite cousins, and I've lost the relationship that I had with her because I don't want to talk to her, because every time I do, that is how I feel. Yeah.
Right.
So
So you
so
just need to call it out.
yes, amen. Monica, let me ask you this. Tell me something that was a favorite memory of you with your husband.
Mm.
You mean the great sex we had? No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
that is good.
What the kids say, clock it.
He was just a wonderful
Love it.
person. I just cannot point one thing or focus on one thing. He was just a great human being. He's just always kind and respectful and loving and always taking care of everything. He wouldn't even kill a bug in the house. He would literally grab an envelope, try to shove it in the envelope, and then go leave it outside. And because I used to scream when I see a cockroach or a spider and stuff and freak out, he would literally go and take care of it and actually let it out in the open and say, don't kill it. I
Don't
mean,
kill it.
a very
Wow.
gentle
Miss
soul. I
Jennings.
mean, and
Yes.
if he was bad or anything, I don't think I would be mourning or in grief or missing him as
You
much.
would.
Maybe, I don't know. But he was a wonderful person. He was just a genuinely very good human being. And I
Amen.
feel blessed to have been with him all those years.
Mm-hmm. Monica, I really notice being around you, your high days and your low days when I am around you. So that's why I want you to hold on to what you just said about your husband, because that is the key for you to remember. You know, my dad died at 91. My mom was
Mm.
85. They died 2 years, and they were living with me for the last years of their lives. At at He died at 91, so he was about 87, 80. I would watch him putting his hands all up under her legs and just be touching. I'd be like, what's all this going on? You know, so those are the type of things, yeah, that you remember. Simone, I want to ask you the same question. Tell me about one of those happy moments that you had with your son.
Wow, like you said, it's hard. But I think one of the things that I miss is that me and him laugh about. I would get mad and I would punch the air. Is he was 6'5". He was
Oh,
six
he's
five
a
as
big
well,
brother. Yeah.
and he would always walk past me and pat me on the head, like I'm not no dog. I'm not an animal. You know, he would come by and be like, "Oh, mom, it's okay. You're sure." You know, so that was kind of our little playful thing. But he was like, I call him my gentle giant. And out of all of my
Yes.
children, and I had to say, wow, you know, like out of all of my children, he was the most affectionate.
Wow.
I'm not a
Amen.
very affectionate person. None of my other children are very affectionate, but he would be the one that he would wrap his arm around me. We would be in the mall. He would hold my hand, and you would think a young man at that age, you know, they're trying to be cool, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's, you know, some of the memories. And one of the last things he said to me was, you know, I'm trying to step up and be an example for my brothers and sisters, because I realized that, you know, he was really stepping up and understanding that as the oldest, I did not put that responsibility on him. I would never put that on my children. But he understood that as the oldest male child in the family, that he had a responsibility, you know, to look out for, and he was just starting to get it because
Yeah.
he was the one to cool, and he was kind of all about himself. And when he saved money, if you didn't save your money, oh well, you don't get any, you know, you don't get cash. I saved my money, you should have saved yours. So but he went from that
Yes.
to being like, I'm kind of, you know, at the time I wasn't married, kind of like I'm the head now because I'm the oldest male. And I didn't put that on him, but he was starting to take his role very seriously. And it seems like as soon as he started stepping into that,
Wow.
and I said, it's sad to say, but I'm going to say it. But I honestly feel him even stepping up into that could have almost been his demise.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He went to that party with my
Party.
middle son, the busy one.
Mm.
He was around folks that he didn't have no, but he was trying to be his brother's keeper.
Brothers keeper. Yeah, yeah.
So so that's what I have to remember. But I'm proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
I can say I'm proud of him. So that's
That is a good memory. I'm going to ask you, Tiffany, a completely different question. Um, what is the most unexpected part for you of this grief journey that you are experiencing? Because you said that this is the first time that you've had somebody this close to you pass. See,
Mhm.
I've gone
Mhm.
through all of those four, but that was my first time was my brother being shot. 2 years after that, my nephew who was living here with me in California went home for summer. He died in a car accident.
Mm.
So I have had those things happen. So have dealt with, but you said it was your first time some that close to you. So what has been the most unexpected part of this grief journey for you?
That's a really good question. I felt like our family was always the family that was consoling people in grief because, we have a large family, and my grandparents are the oldest in their family. And so they take care of everybody else. And when this happened, my dad was only 57, and it was just very,
Oh,
nobody,
that's your
we were
age,
very
Coach.
private. Yeah. What was that? I'm sorry.
No, that's Coach Kim age. She just said so he was really
Oh,
young.
yes, yes, he was
Yeah.
57. So, and we were always ones consoling people. So when people came and were consoling us, and just that feeling of grief, I had never felt something so heavy. I didn't know. Of course, when you console someone in grief, like you just said, Coach, you say these things thinking that it helps because we never experiencing it. I thought I was saying the right things, but having to experience it myself for this first time, it was just like a punch in the face, literally. Like I've never felt that before. And for people coming to console me, I didn't know how to handle that either. It's just something I've just never even thought about feeling before. So it's just very heavy, very heavy.
Mhm.
Well, as we get ready to bring this episode to a close, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on. If I can give you each a minute, and then Coach Kim, if you would go last and just tell us what's on your heart so we could close out this episode with some information of how, because I really thought that I was in a better place than I was. But the thing that I experienced in January, my mom passed on January 15th. This January 15th was different. I
Mm.
got to a place where I say, I'm not going to mourn her life. I am going to celebrate some good times that we had together. So I pulled out pictures with me and her being on the beach. I started saying crazy sayings as a West Indian mother that you would say,
Mm-hmm.
and I started to live. And so this year, I felt different. It's been 4 years, but this year I felt bit different. My grief was different. So that was my 1 minute close. So, um, how about you going, Monica? Then you going, Tiffany. Then you going, Coach Simone, and then you could close us out on this, our grief coach. So, Monica, go ahead. What would you like to say in closing?
Um, like the coaches have said, grief is very different for each one of us. We deal with it very differently, and like you said, how you deal with by absorbing and staying in that grief to help you feel better. I also do a lot of crafting, and hours go by, and I don't realize where my time has gone because I totally enjoy it. Also,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with grief is in those different phases. I've been through the anger and the depression and everything else, and I didn't know there was a thing that you go through anger first, and then you go through this, and then you go through that. It just all was together. I was just it's again a major loss that I've didn't think ever would happen to me. I guess we never feel that something like that's ever going to happen to us. And I would just say, just give yourselves time, give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself over it. Um, I don't know. God is good, I guess.
Yes,
Yes,
he is.
he is.
Absolutely.
Yes, he is.
At the end of the day, I mean, we are answerable to Him, and do what we do in His name and for Him, because
Yeah.
that's our final destination. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Perfect
Yes,
sense.
yes, you are. Tiffany,
I'm just thankful for spaces like this and for the strength to ask for help. I hope I can continue to have that and to really take in everything and hopefully be an example to others that it's okay to ask for help. And um, I'm learning that there's no timeline in grief either, that it's okay to take my time. And yeah, just thank you for letting me be here and share with you today.
amen. Thank you for saying yes. Come on, Coach Smo.
I would say one of the most important things, even through my journey, is to know yourself.
Mm.
Mm,
Know yourself. Know when you're pushing yourself too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Know when you are when you feel like you're sinking. Just know yourself. Because I know one day I was sitting somewhere and I took a job and I was not ready through the grieving, and I literally felt something pop. But I knew I shouldn't have took that job while I was in the middle of grieving. So I would just say, for your mental health sake, just understand where you are and know yourself and adjust accordingly.
amen. Coach Kim, would you?
Close us out.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Dr. Alicia, thank you for this time. Thank you for allowing me to be in your space to share what I've studied and come to know, and what God has given me in the ministry He's given me to coach others. And ladies, anytime if you all need me, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here. But I want to leave you all with this. Grief is not a sign that you're falling apart. It's a reflection of how deeply you loved. Some days the weight feels very heavy, but every step you take is evidence of your strength. Honor your feelings, trust your journey, and remember that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to carry love forward in a brand new way. So I pray God's blessings on everyone who will be able to be a part of this in the replay. And just thank you for allowing me to be in this sacred space.
Ladies, thank you so much. Thank you. And please
Thank you,
join
Dr.
us.
Alicia.
Join us next Friday at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for another episode of In This Space. God bless you. And as my cousin Lorraine always says, have a great day today and a better one tomorrow. God bless.
God bless.